US, the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Assalamu alaikum baringal kondo Gambian Talents TV to bi fanam felende murutale nan alla Dibenkoto programme wala mi yalan ko akanale sibiro sibitilal comme ngaka nyamen drom kakara ko kele nga mol nyini melalan ko pour ni se ko kacha ko la melalan ko wala be ke kan banko kanjang andu ngaji ko woto ngaji ko fenno melalan ko kuma tale pour ni mol nyili akacha melalan ko itele rat source of information on yusro pour ya sene ko nyini sa ke senandi molla mol fana melalan ko le banko kay salon no ko bita kan nyame woto comme nga fala nyamen drom alla Dibenkoto programme wala bi most of jamme alon ko ya sanya no honorable ya sanya ata modi me alon ko député yala wala Latrikunda Sabijie la tundo at lo modi me alon ko at lebe represent kan da dollar banko la dollar da America fu National Assembly awon da fengal drum ba futala na e kacha ko la me alon ko ngaji ko fel no me alon ko ajaretale pour ay ko nyinta ay senandi molma wala fel me alon ko be wala ke kan ko mi ay la do ko tarani fanna men na ko me alon ko akuma bada banko kanne so ta ko mala bagal pour nga futama anna ñu ko ñi dange kacha ba ñoo bekala don sabula ni jubera la ñoo konton janni mbir na kacha kon
assalamu alaikum thank you very much on kontan dabake Gambia Talent TV promotion right to come pour kana jang ni kacha banko la kula because at the end of the day we are all stakeholders in the development of this country. The media, the National Assembly, the President, the Minister, everybody is a stakeholder in the development of this country. So, back and no content of long is reinforced by way of New Gambian own TV and this is the only way and I'll help no men by giving you people audience, Nalaka Kacha, to increase your viewership and to increase your income and stuff like that. So I'm content back la kuala and my doors are always open as far as discussion national issues is concerned.
Okumara bake andum fana bafala baraka bake watu menna yela hajol bula kamol accept in your home pour ngana na ngani kachanya so right ngata don straight into the discussion isa ho mole jumalum yayati yela ko date mun dole fo ala sabu tala bi felandi kala National Assembly member.
Okay, mtamu Yaya Sanyang ko ya introduce namin. I was born in Kuinala in Kiang Central District. Ngana primary school ka Kuinala. Mbora Kuinala ngana junior secondary school from Kuinala. Mbora na junior secondary school na high school ke Brikama. From my high school into Gambia College to become a qualified teacher where I did my HEC from 2003 to 2005, a higher teacher certificate. I major in social and environmental studies and agricultural science. So, I taught for a few years. I school Jamato, I Daos, I Pipeline, Daddy Job, Bothrop, and many other schools as well. So, not a scholarship was 2008, where I went to study civil and disaster prevention engineering in Taiwan. I complete not 2012. 2008 to 2012, where I pursued a degree in civil and disaster prevention engineering at the National Taipei University of Technology, Natoranga Dokoke, World Bank Project Coordination of the Ministry of Education as a consultant, Ngambeuto, and I've been a consultant there for a few years. Consultancy IFAD Fly, national consultant or civil work expert for IFAD for a few months as well. Mboroto Nareta University of the Gambia, 2015 to 2018, where I studied law. Ngadoko Franke OIC as deputy project manager. Not resigned from OIC and to involve in politics, where I stood as National Assembly member for UDP in the last legislative election, not a win with a landslide. And my current status is I'm a National Assembly member.
mel sayen kanjam fenno mi alon ko a detail tan dum fana ko ma batale pour moli alon mola mo me alon ko abe tundu mo me represent kan di national assembly so nga dum ka cha control ila do ko me alon ko ye ila professional work me alon ko kabri ibota high school ye do ko start kana bula bi la do ko nyim abe nyaadile.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I studied civil engineering, civil engineering meaning Luko Karango, Bulolu, Sila Dadadu, Brig Dadalu, Kujamanjamang, Mekedo Kolmodal, called civil engineer. When you bungo member in Bunjang, slowly highways, everything, civil engineer like design or like that. So it's been very interesting. School Jamalo Gambia. I think I have contributed to the construction of more than 300 schools in this country, sponsored by the World Bank. But Narata OIC. OIC la project on Tolanga Dati 2017. In those days, from table foundry, we started OIC from scratch. Not a table, engineering, a computer engineering, everything. For Nata, I'm from the first operational budget from Gambia Masakunda and $15 million. I can remember that very well. And tablets I work on, and surrounding laptops I work on. Project concepts for another actually. OIC Kana Gambia, Mtolbe Munafana Noje, Mtol more than 10 sita we integrate our operations and ideas. Until Minsani, Nyanjai, and Ibrahim Okoli, and Aji Umi, and we are very few in those days actually. We sat down and realized that Nimbanko Nyante Munafana OIC, so a project design, a silo design, part of the project proposal, silo Beje, hotel Beje, electricity and water enhancement Beje, VVIP at the airport is also there. So mirrored in those days, we thought that it was going to expand actually, but that is because of political reasons, we all live one way or the other. Yeah, exactly.
So, in political reasons, do you mind? Exactly?
Yeah, because Nimubanko de Mealonko is very unfortunate for me. Banku dingo be do ko la for abe masakunda program fa masakunda that should not be a determinant factor. So la misana na resign na former CEO ni CEO member de sante Yankuba Diba ay kuriya jamata mandi pour obe bolje nyame on ta budget so ndrefala mbeje mbe man comfortable they purposely sorry for specifically in the before National Assembly election because I knew probably as in the contract renewal na expert because I have some issues with the president, I have some issues with the CEO, me I don't go into the political belief and it will be not could break for anything into the joy and all the plus way. I was delivering there until I worked TOR. I was delivering seriously, man compromise with about if you ask me, are you going to support Adama to be president of this country? I will never do that because now the competence level now long. La mirror dan dam to nga long anala qualities dan dam nga long so intellectual mode membe Adama support la to the detriment of my family and the entire Gambia because I'm incapable to lead this country and I was threatened of my work but if you ask me do I care, I don't care about my work but what I care is who can lead this country better so not I resign before the parliamentary elections and I enter politics.
So iko yela doko joy pa pour yitela joko joyala doko joyal place way so not na fanan coming to support President Barrow so ibe mem yitandi ka wolam we laftale Barrow support ban for
exactly yeah I think more than them fund no office kam mani ne ka fo ngata Adama mani ne because no wanta na contact banda ta harinyo ngo yamba nta mani ne la because nintara mani ne joya ta place way I don't treat the joyal place over my dead body ani mum place nya dilem ndajo yal place because ndijo ya the place ila moral and ila integrity you affect and hadama integrity kumata bakala integrity is lost at once nim place jo yandi sa imana place nyate bondi jedo so nata fo ko intérêt Adama bolo sela ndama ko ka Adama la naman political philosophy in fact comment wrong ala selfish style wrong because no mbebe no UDP le and ntolanga ganye nga sindisa ya cool spirit So amamira ko ntol musifal bebulate noma ka support to be president of this country, and that was my belief. Ma hate ma barinta support no pour que kanyim banko president ni ngoke drong oto nganyim banko mo be le jamfa bari nga adama capability don ngalo na miro dante dame. So pour ko o tare mo nyata ka for me president come will direct to do things ate onora wala nante ma support anu yol foko ni na contract banditari nyura. So falan ko bari ala be menkela ntol molo olum fang ngam foje olum fang itol mo men na jang ko janning April askeno ko ke adama ko ke enter askeno adama man sa bang askeno tanga place do so bar ko men ngara adama ya ngafa ko ngimani nen tuna place don ko mbang te okay.
So ikanya apology ko mo men foten mune alfutan do o tembonyen.
Yeah, because you got na contract la kana ban wonte adama ko ikana na contract renew na contract nyanta ban April. Na contract in the Banda April. Yeah, exactly, 2021. These discussions were around January or February. So, unko imbanta kila. Mamang ko muka ikang call ikang kumandi mina office unko eko. Ntita adama bolosel. Unko imam fenga. Nga fenga mo na fansa apologize. An alameni kuchala mo ka apologize la. Comme ngamen ke make ko wala na mo ka jumbe kafaronyin. Unko bare manta adama apologize la atola because man kuchala o mjo yadi man kuke mo le ka dafa yam fa jumala fa wono mo dunia ko man kuke mo lan kara nga fa yam fa na karo na place left or maintenance ko entakela ko mba. I will never do that.
Well, kuma da bake. So ni mo be nyinin kala comme yinin nying encounter me alan ko e wala soro between president na fang kata bule to fang ibe muna study ko nyim be kono ni nat na jibe
ngame study ko nyin kono gambianul nka sunka sale bar mandan kenya we gambiano batande baka we go to the church, we worship God, we go to the mosque nka alabatu God. Dan kenya level is very very low anu na mansal katilimbalande to flan ka mansal tilimbalande ntol mi fon ko mansal ni man daji ko falling mansal mina drong better tilimbalande na wati because for me mola do ko an political wol man ñu ta fen. We have right to support anybody. You have, as far as you are a citizen of this country, you have the inherent right to support anybody of your choice. But does not also allow you to compromise on your work ethics or to compromise on the delivery of your work. Or falang is a kumata back again. So na lesson nga meg realize yedro Gambian will found the malaka tilimbale anyola. Because ni ita kare ka mo report mansa mo president and everybody is a potential head of state. My sister is a potential head of state. Yeah, potential head of state. I'm a potential head of state. Everybody in this country, as far as you are a citizen of this country, is a keno banko president. So that's my motivation. Ko wala na nte joya no la moy. Nte roke no la fa. I don't nte namna sila fa ngame ko kontanyanda joya la moy pour lafta men na ngasuto. O man ka harma dia fa o man ka misil ma fa. So ngamen karanje dron gambe no si hakil tu bake nse fata nyola mbela focus to develop this country. So that should be everybody's focus. But na focus manyana kele ko mbenyoti nyala nyame na focus manyana kele nyanta nyojo yala nyame pour ite nyanta menso la yo so gambe no be sa hakil to.
So akamunde kamen foten at no point ite puru ise son ka kafu president baro because nga député dol jele melalan ko ibe UDP la nu ina naka mo le melalan ko ngaje falinta isa unde keda multi melalan ko isa unde adam baro ka so near approach the same thing now, are you going or not? No,
ntete tiano adama baro ya because konga fanyame among capable kanyum banko lead. I have to do that for my family. I have to do that for the Gambian people. Ntete selfish la drong menu tara adama ya it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Tara fenyinola. Okay, nda nga ala tentule demanding man fensor ba nga ala tentule nga nyene company over $4 million and before me that deputy ala fana na mambata manke moto me ala ngo nyanta joyala ko ngako do sudo nyanta joyala nga place sudo mo ala indi ma wax to nak nda joyano la moy so wara ka $10,000 ka wodi $10,000 du mu jalati mo yela for ya san $10,000 bari adama fa dara fa ko I did to do for $10,000. So I found that out from the horse mouth actually. So Skeno falang batale CJ ani imam foreya falang wala nita adama so under any circumstance ndetano adama ya nta support nola nta support no. I can support Adama to be a very good businessman. I can support Adama to be a very good importer and exporter in this country, but I cannot support Adama to be president of this country because more capabilities. He doesn't have that capability. He doesn't have that wisdom to do so. So when constrained back, I can support him to be anything in this country besides to be the president of this country. Because I have to do that for my family. I have to do that for the Gambian people. So I cannot do that for Adama actually. I will never do that for him.
So ila dung politiko kono yanni ka resign wala ibe resign ka wato men ju yayin soto hammoto ko pour ibeta politiko to wala ila ye ko men jayi kan wala addi secretariat wala fenke wa ifanan ko beduna politiko to wala.
Yeah, well, I was motivated to also contribute to the development of this country. I will still look back with pride when these OIC projects are finished. That's my pride for this country. I will continue to look back with pride to ngalong konde falu molet many along kontolanga yung project that, and this project has contributed to changing the lives of Gambians, their social and economic status. That's my umintala pride that I will have to look back for the rest of my life. I leave OIC specifically to contest the National Assembly elections. Well, because I wanted to continue. I wanted to stand as a candidate in the last legislative election. No doubt about it. That was why. That was one of the reasons I resigned from the OIC to contest. So when I win and say contribute no nyadi. When I win, I contribute no nyadi to the development of this country because masakundamu bulu sabaldi. You have the executive, the judiciary, and the National Assembly election. And fortunately, the National Assembly has oversight on all these people to make sure that to make sure that they are doing the right thing. So I'm very happy to be a National Assembly member because I will continue to check. I will continue to perform my oversight function to make sure that all the other arms of government, institution, and ministry are doing the right thing. I'm very proud to do that.
Alright, so ye kumomen fo yanka itandiko ila ini Adam Barrow ka contract ko nyinta ka renew wo ko nyin dundal tema ye mona so debe men fola ko min kaje sande velandi kere National Assembly member andung a part of your work wala ila dogo kono abijele pour ka luwal bondi je mele alon ko ye imang mol la jubero to iman ram mol na faka anim fana fel mele alon ko be ko imunna boss lati ndelenge employee woto mendiata nyembole kala pour fo lu almandre stepol ta ni ata wolu asifal bi pour ka ke
there should be steps to make sure that citizens are safe. Banku dingol safe, they are safe wherever they are serving, whatever capacity they are serving this country. Citizens should have job security. You should not fear to be sacked because you are not supporting the incumbent. These are some of the laws that people should start to, engage their National Assembly members near Kacha. How do we make sure civil servants, public servants are safe in their various capacities? They will not fear it. Also. And also, when you are sacked unnecessarily, when you are sacked on political reason, go to the court. Go to the courts. And I'm sure the courts are going to restore your status. But it's very, very unfortunate. And Mansa advice don't penalize people just because they are not serving you. If they are serving the interests of this country, your interest is not the interest of this country, and I want the president to understand that very well. Your interest is not the interest of this country. If citizens are serving the interests of the country, who are you to send them home just because they don't serve your interest? Your interest is to perpetuate yourself in power. More interest, the national interest is to develop this country. So if your interest to perpetuate yourself in power go parallel to the interest of to develop this country, why do you penalize somebody for that? And you are going to rule this country on fairness. So if that happened now, are you fair? Yara mobuka fair alala ye kalkurano ko be nyimbanku marala tilingo kono alin tonya kono. So if that happened now, ela interest collide with national interest, you penalize somebody for that. You are going to see that before you die. Oh, when you die, you're going to see that. No, because Allah is not a joke. So I want people to understand that. I want the presidential advisors and the president himself and the ministers to understand the president's interest is parallel to the interest of this country. If people serve the interest of this country, they don't serve the interest of the president, so be it. The only avenue the president can sack anybody is when you don't serve the interest of this country. That one, yes, he has every constitutional right to let you go, but not for his interest. And for his interest that I said, I will never serve.
Alright, so ngaje fanang at the National Assembly kabirin baro na fundal kanje purka national address ya itande ko ita funditale mune nyin sabu mune bakoma.
Yeah, because I don't just want to waste my time. I don't like wasting time. Life is so precious to waste time. Life is so precious to engage in issues that you're not going to learn anything. My sole motivation was he can talk to me for hours, but I'm not given constitutionally even a second to ask him questions. So I was like, why will I waste my time here when I have other pressing issues to do? The president will only come here to talk to me about the development of this country on all the sectors, all the ministries. So I'm voted by the Gambians to come here, to do the right things. So it's just like a teacher come to the class and you teach, but you don't allow students to ask you any question. How about if a student have doubt in what you have lectured? So that was my motivation. That one, it doesn't give me sense. I've been asking my teachers since grade 1 when they come to speak to me. When they spoke and I kept quiet, I asked them questions. Grade 2, grade 3 up to my high school level. So now to go to the National Assembly and I don't have a right to ask the president of my concerns. And these are genuine concerns. These are genuine national concerns that I have. So I'm not going to waste my time. And I will do this on and on every year until the constitution changes that when the president delivers his speech, the National Assembly members are going to ask him questions. I will never sit and listen to the president. It's the bad law that provided him the shield to do so. And until this bad law changes, I will not also change my position. I will never sit in the National Assembly and listen to the State of Nation address from the president. To boycott is parliamentary also. I think Gambians understand to boycott is also parliamentary. I'm not going to waste my time to listen to him, and I cannot ask you questions until it changes. Then whereby president, you can go home. But come back and listen to us. Come back and get the questions from us if we are definitely in control of the government. Why do you fear receiving questions from it's not the vice we wanted to talk to. We want to speak. The president can sack the vice president today. The president is briefed every day. The president has cabinet, so the president should be in control. The president understand. Member carrying the Bangkok. So ita mal members understand banko ikaslam diptol ke yin ka question then you are not taking your responsibilities. You are not taking your dutiful responsibilities. You are not just fit to be the president. Be very comfortable to come more in question. Not only the National Assembly, the president should organize press conferences, frequent press conferences. You can go there and ask him questions. He can go there and ask him questions. Journalists from Teranga, journalists from other FM stations can go and ask him questions. But you can it means you are not in control. It means you are not understanding issues. And that's a fact. So No, he's not understanding his issues. He's not in control. And the sad part is he's not in control.
So who is in control?
People around him are the one in control, not him. He doesn't understand issues. That guy is just there as the president, enjoying all other, goodness associated with to be a president. But if you ask me whether he's in control, it is no. If you ask me whether he understands issues, it is no. Absolutely no.
Right, o senata bake mbadi han kabidram government and TV lamu alla Dibenkoto program on me yalan ko kanale sibiti kabota la lula karabla tan wora so nimbota wodo yaya ngata na airport do me yalan ko nyin tembe la kubijel me yalan ko aman termo kumpato mbela kalamuta ka itande ko ning tamalal nata me yalan ko wala katama wala ni ka fundi banko kam fana ni bita kan truna di airport la e ka aman an amount of money jole me yalan ko mol mala ko woni faham no bake sama fono nyin.
Yeah, in some men fono, I'm equally as confused as any other Gambians, and I'm equally a victim of that. Today, my wife and 2 kids are traveling to the UK, and I'm going to pay. I just made a telephone call. My boy is less than 4 years. Whether he's still going to, whether he will also pay. I was told that he is going to pay. So I'm also a victim of this inconvenience, of this traveling inconvenience. I'm also a victim of this traveling inconvenience, and my family is affected today. And I know many other families were affected of this unnecessary charges, of this corrupt, attitude. But in National Assembly, we take its rightful position, no doubt about that. And we are going to have an inter-committee meeting, my own committee, project monitoring and implementation, and that of OPEC rather. We will see and we will sit and talk about this, and we will get the concern of genuine Gambians. Genuine Gambians will have their input in this, because we will probably hold public hearings, which I'm sure will solicit the opinions on position of many Gambians. And we are, beside that, we are going to make a recommendation. Because we cannot see citizens suffering. Air tickets are so expensive. If people travel, if people struggle to buy air tickets, they will also have to go to the airport and pay another $1,000. The money we don't even know where it is going in cash. That is an avenue for corruption. I heard the president went to America and told them, "Well, I don't quite understand. I don't bro differently. He doesn't understand issues, and he's just been feed and that's what he goes to. I verify no, and this is something that pisses everybody off. You're gonna be a president, and you think that to be a president is that cheap." He went to America and was telling citizens that is their contribution to develop. Oh, look how weird that statement is. Coming from a head of state. That they have to contribution to the development of this country. It's annoying at the same time, very lovable coming from here. Because even fight I
So I recommend the President Barrow because I don't know abuka is will verify.
Let him read. Let him read. Article what you are just always eating. You are just always laughing. You are just always luxuriate yourself in all the luxuries at State House. That's not being the president. That's not presidential. What is presidential is to open books and read. What is presidential is to hire international experts to come and advise you. But remember the problem at the current knowledge, because the more contain do some mutual advice. May tentan ko si fa blow jada kang. May tentan ko si fa blow na lanjur. Ndusano ite ko mu ita advisor obe advisor me tantan ko so bo ni kon de personal advisor you are going to be an economic expert. You advise on economy, the trend of the global economy, the challenges in the global economy. That's number one. Number two, I go to my political advisor. You advise me on politics, international relations. You advise me on UN systems. Do you understand? You go to youth advisor. These are the people, these are going to be knowledgeable persons. Nemo Adamada, I'm going to tap the Gambia international retirees. They come and advise me. But it is Bandi Kotolo, Menanko Yefari new. You call them with advice. People who like example Dusano, Siaka Jata Mbalo, will be advice the men not wrong. I can't call oppositional, become oppositional. Nkoma ni jola le malafil nkoma ni mandin ko le malafil nkoma ni surwa le malafil nkoma ni flow le malafil wol be kallo idea si fala di wol mom fene long. They don't know anything about yourself. Ni be kan tell advisor, you are going to add value to my thinking. Nimuntel advice needed not the same level. Why will I be in the same level with you? Because you tell me the advice that you are going to add value to my thinking. You are going to add value to my knowledge and philosophy. So if you are going to be my advisor, you are going to be somebody who know more than I know. You are going to be somebody who's more exposed than I am. You are going to be somebody who's more experienced than I am. So then you need to yamar. Even Kumakendo, but do sound look. A whole presidential advisor, it is UN. Your purpose of going to UN is to create bilaterals. Because President Jamal and the advisor Kataji. You talk to other delegates for the interest of this country. How do we bring business to this country? How do we bring electricity into this? How do we bring water? How do we bring other projects? But the whole president's advice, so piss me off. And going there is taxpayers' money. Your air ticket, your everything, your per diem was paid by the taxpayers. Thinking that when you go there, you are going to create bilaterals between you and other delegates from other part of the world. Gambia be develop nyari ite kwanta supermarket ko itara jom buru ko le ko kawol fo buru ko be jelleti America iko compare ko Gambia iweta Apple Store ba fala ankata Apple Store bi. So you see the level, you see the quality and the capacity of people. President Barrow will never do well. He will never do well if he don't change his advisors. Yes, he will never do well. And then Nyimbanko Maranola to develop us economically, socially, our health structure, our health system, our educational system, attendant to all Kenola, if people like Dusano and others remain his advisors.
So Akamunda President Barrow Kamenje the reflection Kamenje is as a result of
it's the quality of the people in State House. It's the quality of the people that we have in State House. And if that status quo don't change, Gambians should not expect anything from him. Gambians should not expect anything from. Look at his speech. Because for me, if you ask me, every president has speech writers. But what you do is to look at the content of the speeches they give you. In fact, they're not even going to imagine as if you'll speak writer in my speech. Speech writers, they cannot go and write anything you don't tell them. No. It will be ideal for it, so they know how to write that in speech, they know how to expand that. But they don't even consult him. They don't even consult him. What do you want to say? How can you write my speech and you don't consult me? What do I want to say? Who are you? So this is why he messed up. He messed up and legitimized the murder of 66 kids by way of that contaminated syrup. Because no one I'm telling you, ning Adamo is speaking na foy, not a fancy from his own mouth. Foy called write this, they will write better. But what wrong for the minister or the permanent secretary or any other body to save themselves? It are ya sefe ya dia like ya kara. Even the other he doesn't even understand the content. Because later on now content understand. Come and Kavajanko, Ninja Mama Kadino Kafan Banko Kang, Dino Kafan Banko Kamemfanka saying, I tell you, he's not going to say that. But for the fact that minister and the permanent secretary and other people want to save themselves, he has fair and he mess up. He cannot undo this. You just legitimize the killing of 66 or above children in this country. Criminal act, medical negligence, and all sort of things.
How do you feel when you heard of this?
When I feel that I was not shocked. I told Gambians to start to be shocked of Adamo Barrow's performance. For me now, it has gone to an expectation. When Adama go low or mess up in any of his social functions, it's always my expectation. I'm not shocked. So I don't know why Gambians are faking the situation that they are shocked. Why are you shocked? This is somebody you know for the past 6 years. Why are you shocked? It's an expectation. When Adama go and mess up in public, it's always an expectation. It's not a shock to me now. Because I expect that he doesn't know it. He doesn't know. He never know. I don't best that he never I'm not. He's there. He doesn't have a library. A president, you have to have a library. Economic section, political section, educational section, health section. You're not expert, but you go and get the basics. So Adama will never give a speech pronounced words badly, or the content of the speech is terrible, and I tell Gambian I'm shocked. I will tell them this is my expectation, actually. This is what I always expect.
So, as long as he is with his advisors, you are not expecting anything?
No. As far as the present quorum of advisors is what Adama surrounds himself with. He will never change, and instead of changing, he will even go worse, day in, day out.
So from now on,
look at the quality of his
we should expect something worse.
As far as the present set of union remain his advisors, what we should always expect is always a bad performance. Advisors should know more than you know. I told you before. They should be exposed more than you are. They should have more experience than you. They should go international. Do you understand? So that they can advise you. They add value to your thinking. They add value to your knowledge. But people who are been to the corridors of a formal school, and you are making them your advisors, why will they advise you? They will only advise you on dangerous points. In fact, it will get advice for better lead into problem. And this is what is happening. Imagine a president's advisor can TikTok. Buro. How cheap bread is. It may mean to be progress someone international UN. UN is, that's why I call United Nations. Many nationals, many presidents, their advisors, their ministers, president advisor. There will be other president who came with the advisor, create bilateral between you and that advisor. So you bring something to the Gambia. Not how much bread costs in USA. That's not my business. I'm in Gambia. I know the cost of bread in this country. I can never buy bread in America. Why do I need to know the price of bread in America? Am I going to buy bread in America? No. I'm only going to buy bread in the Gambia. So I'm concerned with the price of bread in the Gambia, not in America.
Molba fokan ko bawo kolea nying molba foka be Gambia janda mana so wala kin ding atafana mburo nyinta so aba fenke kan ka compare to Gambia price la.
That is foolish. That is mediocrity. It's foolishness. You cannot compare Gambia and America. In fact, compare Gambia to Guinea-Bissau, to Senegal, but America. You want to compare Gambia to America? Looking at the disparity in earnings, people looking at the disparity in the quality of life, looking at the disparity in the infrastructural development portfolios. You want to compare this? It's madness. I think at one point the advisor was mad for his effort to compare Gambia to America. This is the place you work like a day. A day earning near convert to Gambia is thousands of dollars. So why do you need to compare them? Do you understand? In fact, if the comparison is going to be right, okay, if even what he said was right, $6 bread of price of bread in USA is $6. Price of bread in Gambia is $10. So still $10 and $6. If you by way of figure, it means it's still high in the Gambia. Do you understand? So that's why I say he's just been naive, and it's just been his lack of knowledge and lack of exposure. And do you know that was his first time to travel in the plane? Even by look at it, I don't plane no for color. Huh? I'm not from how do I call it? Jibotulo. Come in tourism provinces do Jibotulo. Funny I'm the plane na Jibotulo. I think that it's not the people like, oh, this is life I achieved today. Why do Jibotulo melongo you drank up to quarter of any waka jimina plane no? Failing to understand ikata hotel menkono. Jibetra je boso men for mineta because they give you VIP treatment. Boso men for mineta airport je from betra lauto. If you hotel lungo you have your mini chambers there, but konga fanya mendrom presence advice men nantaba. Iko better advice la. It's a joke, my bro. And banku dingo la ko jo. Ala moto na la security na la fuel na la everything. Ntola ko bejo wala fanga bala fa war mo, you know.
Ala baraka bake o kumata. Andu ngaja fana ngaji ko fana senata le so an kabidron ambe kachanya na kono. Ya itandile komi nyintamola ni ajibe na banko kanya nin karre fa wasita. Karre fa tambila angunyo ketal ka itande ko mol mi lalan ko wolle man sabatin banko kanya pour fese silo soro no ay fanal dasibla no na karre fa onyon kono. Ko mandin fana nga moyle vice president fundita national assembly la ko woni mara jele ye mune lo nyin lando
yela ndebe gambianol yamar la menna mo se sura political place la nyaaw mo kana luntan encourage akela kayto soto bankolo loi be jele luntan nyanda kayto soto la nyame luntan ntol gambia luntan accommodate bakela so me banku dingol yamar la mo me lon ko yakal carte o win eka luntawol register ila banko ka eka kayto di luntaw ma nyana soto la pour que kayto di luntaw la constitutional provision be je luntaw yo follow ya soto to la buro so ni na kutekel na parents so be America be Europe be kayto soto je so mota follow ko luntaw ta kayto soto banko kan that's madness but kana deal illegally because you want votes from that person mbel luntaw follow ya marla ay kana tara na banko kan al kan na kayto ni na kayto men ko almanya na soto do understand so luntaw fe se hakil to back out al kana na kayto ni na kayto men ko almanya na soto la because it's illegal, it's criminal. Na banko luwa beje al fang al luwa la nyinin ka banko luwa al nyanda kayto sotla nyade time di mala nyanda kayto sotla na yo long al yo wato batu barakana kayto nyini mol ka bank politician or kal kal use pour al ka carte o fay o mu junu bolte do na san politician or carte o ka to use e ka faciliter al ka kayto sotla ka carte o fay an bank dungol ka carte o fay nyoro o mo bete o mo kulete ndon shakli to an bank dungol fan shakli to bat
Ora anin kabi fana comme ngajel ko mondinto mi yaran ko National Assembly je ngajele ye mol tol funtinde mi yaran ko ya itandi ko kodo man sakundala kodo belale andun ya fenno mi yaran ko deadline o dilal already pour gajo ye nyim whole situation o nyaade
yeah you should not you spend impress and get accounted for it. That's the procedure. So those the advice I'm giving to all those found wanting in possession of that interest should come forward and settle it. If at all you have also settled it, but Minister of Finance failed to update their system, it's also your right to go to the Minister of Finance to make sure it is updated. Because this is a national disgrace. It's a national disgrace that your wife and kids and other relatives will realize that you owe Gambian people. You don't owe the government. You owe Gambian people. Taxpayers' money, the poor neighbor, your poor neighbor, you owe your poor neighbor. You owe the kids you give lift to work. You owe taxi drivers. You owe mechanics and carpenters. You owe that mad woman there. You owe that poorest guy in your neighborhood. You know that somebody you look down upon. You owe him. You owe him or her. It's a disgrace. Because if you owe an impress. You owe the entire nation. You owe the entire your greatest enemy. Your greatest enemy. You owe him his or her money. So it's a disgrace. I think that those who are found wanting should come forward and settle that impress. More lokodojo, Colombia jo. Fuaro membera ila neighborhood. Carpenter fuara ba, weatherman fuara, driver, taxi driver. It will be the corridor. So come forward and settle it as soon as possible because it can lead to the biggest national disgrace of your life. And I'm appealing to all of them to come forward because National Assembly has given ultimatum to pay that money. And I think it's something that I'm sure the message has reached to all of them, and I'm sure the right government channel will do something about it to make sure that they come forward and pay the money.
So in an event.
In an event you fail to do is an economic crime. It's an economic crime. Economic crime is punishable under the laws of this country. I don't think they want to go that far. They want to go that economic crime. It's a serious crime. It's a serious crime that can, lend you a jail time of over 20 years. Why do you want to do that? I'm sure they are working on settling that amount of money they owe to Gambian taxpayers.
Rabarka bake wala mu honorable ya sanyanti Latrikunda Sabijie debito nimbora wato don honorable ngata nin la do me yalon ko November 11 nga ka fodo jele me yalon ko fana lafa ka funti da me yalon ko e according to them ye demand sol ça fait président Barrow yele pour il a fait pour janding wato me yalon ko e wala di pour as a work on those demands, but then yeah, if he fails to do so, they will come out, and according to them, yeah, permit to apply to the IGP, but the permit was also rejected. They were denied permit. Their registration was also revoked by the IGP.
I will just my advice to the president, to the IG. I'm going to advise three categories of people here: the president, the IG, and solicitor or the attorney general. My advice to the president: listen to the concerns of your people. listen to the genuine concern of your people. They are the people who elected you there, and they have elected you to serve their interest to the best of your ability. Now, if group of citizens came together, integrate their brain cells and ideas, their knowledge of the status quo of the country, and go that polite to put them on a piece of paper and demand those challenges, those problems from you, you should not be arrogant. You shouldn't be. You should listen to them. Do you understand? Those concerns, call them to a stakeholder forum. Make a very frank conversation with them. They are your citizens. You are their president. And you are there for a time. You are not going to be there for the rest of your life. Those challenges, those problems, you were also facing those problems and challenges before. And after your life as a president, you may continue to face those challenges, or your family may continue to face those challenges. So if at the time of you being a president is able to address those challenges, maybe those challenges become thing of the past. So the president should be a listener. The president should be a polite listener. Do you understand? The president should listen to the concerns of your people, the genuine concern of your people. If I am going to advise the president, he has to call these people to state us and have a very frank conversation with them. What policies, program, and strategies are you going to put in place to remedy those problems they put as their concern, but not to pay deaf ear to them? It means that you are disrespecting them as citizens of this country, and you are disrespecting the office of the president. Do you understand? That's number one. Number two, to the IG. IG give people permit to protest. Give people permit to protest, and with police guidance, with police escort. Do you understand? You have no responsibility, you have no mandate to deny any citizen of this country a permit to protest. Give them permit to protest and tell them to do their protest in a calm and peaceful manner. This is what is your responsibility, and your responsibility there is to give them police escort. Do you understand? So also to the protesters, I failed to mention them as the fourth persons to advise in this interview. When you also go on protest, be peaceful. Do you understand? When you go on protest, it's not an avenue to create chaos, to create pandemonium, to create noise. Do you understand? Protest should be peaceful. Protest should have a direction. Do you understand? Protest should have a genuine demands. So go out there and show your genuine demand to the Gambian authorities and to the international community. Protest should not be an avenue to have thieves among you, to go and rob shops, to go and rob people of their rightful belongings. So the protesters should also be very mindful of that. Go out there and protest, but make sure the protest is peaceful. Make sure the protest is calm. Make sure the protest is there for you to show to anybody your genuine concerns, your demands. This is not be an avenue to create problems in the country. That's to the protester. To the AG, to the Attorney General. Last time when he came to the National Assembly, I told him that you are slipping this country back to dictatorship. That was a statement that nearly made him angry. He came and said, I'm making a very serious allegation. Now I am seeing you revoking the registration status of a legitimate organization, of a legitimate citizens of this country. So this has come to reinforce and make people to believe what I in fact told the AG is the truth. He is slipping us back to dictatorship. Do you understand? Dictators are enabled by their ministers. Dictators are enabled by the mafias that surrounds them. And in my considered opinion, the minister is putting himself into those mafias to make the president a dictatorship. If you have the audacity, the legal advice to the president that in fact we can revoke their status, you are slipping this country back to dictatorship, and you are making the president to be a dictator. And I am telling the AG and all other mafias around the president, you cannot make him a dictator, because we are going to refuse it. We, the citizens of this country, is going to refuse any effort, any attempt, do you understand, to make Adam a dictator. We are going to refuse this at all means. Do you understand? So anybody, from the Attorney General, any other minister, any other presidential advisor, any other political stooge. Do you understand? That has the intention, attempt to make Adam a dictator. I am telling those persons or group of persons that we, the Gambian people, are going to refuse that. That will never happen in this country. No way. To turn us back to dictatorship, where families will be disintegrated, where the family head or the breadwinner will disappear, where there will be extraordinary killings, extraordinary executions, disappearance, torture in this country. That is a thing of the past. Gambians people, in their collective desire, is going to refuse that. We are going to refuse that. Not about that. We will never accept that.
Baraka bake sa imfurata kacha bandulato na final question wala mu an draft constitution oti ba fenno han kabi ala kol mang an kabi don komi ngalo nyameng jama ka fala be sino la ba yana national assembly le kol ni manta kun so wa fenen ngato fana nata nyinte mewla albije komando ala kuma for national assembly tole ka je ko ferol be ke kan pour ka murundi nan pour national assembly al se kata ko ni na kote bawo before mele alon ko wolle bije yayi tan ni jelo ko luwal biel me alon ko wala asabu ital ay malafi pour gambe tama bu ko nyina so nyin temme wala na ata le stepol tala pour ka ko ni murundi nan wala ni ata man stepol ta ibe mun fala mole.
Well, bringing laws, especially a constitution, to the National Assembly is always a political will. It's always a will from the executive. It's always the mandate of the executive to bring the constitution to the National Assembly. What has happened is very unfortunate. For me, for our National Assembly members to lose every moral integrity in the last legislature and through that and voted against that constitution was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate, and for me, it's the regret that will continue to live with me for the rest of my life. But I'm sure efforts are on to bring that constitution back to the National Assembly. And I said it before, the constitution was voted against because many of the National Assembly members were of the opinion that it is discriminatory to the president. And one word I've sent to the president, never ever think there is going to be any constitution that will be reintroduced into that National Assembly that is going to favor you. No. No law can favor any person. We are going to have a constitution. It's not going to be a perfect constitution for anybody or any group of persons. It must have some clauses that is discriminatory on you. But this is why it is a law. Do you understand? So if the president and his people have this belief, a constitution will come back to the National Assembly that is going to perfectly shape Adama's political winner and agenda, he's fooling himself. He must be dreaming. That will never happen. Do you understand? So sad part of it is this constitution was so consultative that I did not imagine a National Assembly will vote against it. Every National Assembly member's constituency was visited. Do you understand? Far and wide. Has remote areas in this country were visited by the constitutional expert. And a whooping 160 million was committed to the process. I told this in several of my interviews. As a civil engineer, 160 million, you give it to me, I will give you 15 kilometers of roads. So it's like the country has denied, the citizens and the taxpayers has denied themselves of 15 kilometers of roads. When you guys were coming here for interview, the condition was so terrible. The road condition is so terrible. The road users know this. So if citizens can bear that terrible condition, and they say, okay, we want a progressive law, we want a law that match to the spirit, constitutional spirit of the 21st century. Let's bear these sufferings we encounter on our roads and commit to the constitution, constitutional process where international experts, lawyers, constitutional experts. In fact, there was also external consultation. We say no, Gambian also in the diaspora need to have their input in this constitution. Their airfare, per diems, people travel to these countries all over the world to get the input of their input. Because look at the diaspora contribution in this country is so huge. We don't want to sideline them in this process. Experts went and travel and consult them. So now I can say the constitution is both national and international consultation. We say, okay, we agree on this. This is our constitution. Only for it to go to the National Assembly and vote against, because they say it is against, is it discriminatory to President Barrow for the fact that the current term is inclusive. Who is he? You ruled the country for 10 years. Why can't you go quietly? Why do you want to rule people for 15 years? When you know that you are not even a capable president. This is the sad part of it, actually. So now what will happen is
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonic's money transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Kuol ni manta kun so afelen ni atolo fana nata nyinte mewla albije komando ala kumo fa National Assembly tole ka je ko ferol be ke kan pour ka murundi na pour National Assembly alse kata kuol ni na kote bawo before mele alon ko wolle bije yayi tan je ko luwal biel me alon ko wolle asabu itel ay malafi pour Gambia tama buko nyina so nyinte mewla na ata le stepol tala pour ka kuol ni murundi na wala ni ata man stepol ta ibe muna fala mole.
Well, bringing laws, especially a constitution, to the National Assembly is always a political will. It's always a will from the executive. It's always the mandate of the executive to bring the constitution to the National Assembly. What has happened is very unfortunate. For me, for our National Assembly members to lose every moral integrity in the last legislature and through that and voted against that constitution was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate, and for me, it's the regret that will continue to live with me for the rest of my life. But I'm sure efforts are on to bring that constitution back to the National Assembly. And I said it before, the constitution was voted against because many of the National Assembly members were of the opinion that it is discriminatory to the president. And one word I've sent to the president: never ever think there is going to be any constitution that will be reintroduced into that National Assembly that is going to favor you. No law can favor any person. We are going to have a constitution. It's not going to be a perfect constitution for anybody or any group of persons. It must have some clauses that is discriminatory on you. But this is why it is a law. Do you understand? So if the president and his people have this belief, a constitution will come back to the National Assembly that is going to perfectly shape Adama's political winner and agenda, he's fooling himself. He must be dreaming. That will never happen. Do you understand? So sad part of it is this constitution was so consultative that I did not imagine a National Assembly would vote against it. Every National Assembly member's constituency was visited. Do you understand? Far and wide. Has remote areas in this country were visited by the constitutional expert. And a whooping 160 million was committed to the process. I told this in several of my interviews. As a civil engineer, 160 million, you give it to me, I will give you 15 kilometers of roads. So it's like the country has denied, the citizens and the taxpayers has denied themselves of 15 kilometers of roads. When you guys were coming here for interview, the condition was so terrible. The road condition is so terrible. The road users know this. So if citizens can bear that terrible condition, and they say, okay, we want a progressive law, we want a law that match to the spirit, constitutional spirit of the 21st century. Let's bear these sufferings we encounter on our roads and commit to the constitution, constitutional process where international experts, lawyers, constitutional experts. In fact, there was and also external consultation. We say no. Gambian also in the diaspora need to have their input in this constitution. Their airfare, per diems, people travel to this country all over the world to get the input of their input. Because look at the diaspora contribution in this country is so huge. We don't want to sideline them in this process. Experts went and travel and consult them. So now I can say the constitution is both national and international consultation. We say, okay, we agree on this. This is our constitution. Only for it to go to the National Assembly and vote against, because they say it is against, is it discriminatory to President Barrow for the fact that the current term is inclusive. Who is he? You ruled the country for 10 years. Why can't you go quietly? Why do you want to rule people for 15 years? When you know that you are not even a capable president. This is a sad part of it, actually. So now what will happen is the Gambians people to talk to their National Assembly members, engage them. Tell your National Assembly member, we want that constitution back. And we want that constitution without an emission, without an addition of even a single full stop or a comma. We want it intact. This is our book, and this is what we want. It's not your idea. It's the ideas of the entire Gambian people. So now I challenge you. I challenge anybody, media houses, civil society organizations, all villages and towns in this country. Go and tell your National Assembly members, we want that constitution back to the National Assembly. Not only that, we want it to become the law of this land. Exactly. You voted for them, so tell them to do it.
baraka bake ukumada bake ya nge kondom bake nge jay mbafala baraka bake pour yemol grand interview ni men so ni atra fembije me alon ko lafta kafo me alon ko makacha you can go ahead jani ba close la
même fala gamben wala drone ni National Assembly election o sita drone ala mul vote men alon ko the understand issues sanita je they can impact mbe gamben lo wonna bake ni National Assembly election o sita partisan politics and partisan distinct tribal politics. Let them remove that from the National Assembly election, because the National Assembly members are there to consider the qualities of your life. You understand? The president and everybody, they are all having a good life. So why can't you put in people who will go and tell those people to give you a better life? So I'm sure this is a challenge I'm giving to sending to every citizen of this country. National Assembly, remove partisan, remove tribal tricks and politics in it, and make sure we voted in for somebody who is capable, who can lead and who can scrutinize the functions of government, who understands governance architecture, who can be able to tell PS, you did not do this right, who can tell the minister, you are wrong, who can tell the president, you are wrong. That's because he understands the issues. But somebody who doesn't understand issues cannot advise anybody. I cannot operate this camera because I don't know this camera. I've never. So if you send somebody to an assembly who educational level is so poor, and you want him to scrutinize and tell master's degree holders you are wrong, you are fooling yourself. It's not going to be possible. So at the end of the day, National Assembly, you're there, and everybody is going to waste our time, state resources, and state procedures, state processes, but we cannot achieve anything. So that message to all Gambians, please, let's vote in for quality National Assembly members. Not only that, even the president should be somebody who's educated, please. That's my advice.
Alright, ala barka bake mbadi ngon ngal konton Gambian Talents TV to kodam fana bafula ala barka bake jiberabe dawla dron ngal konton ngal jay na camera lady Fatoumata Sanyang bafana konton na bake mbajela bafula honorable ala barka bake beden ala janne fo sibdina ala barka bake alnal badi mal lam MCC fo atido.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Himu tamalalte miyalonko ebe sirim wasintin tundo la kono jam. Andong ima sartol mafa purka demaro soto kabo man sakunda bulu. Natere kole akole soto nu birin yin coronavirus jankaro natan. Isa demaro nyini ka fomu ye wasintin COVID-19 Immigrant Relief Fund. Ning isontela application ola. Ibe kodo soto la membe siala dola wuli kilimote. Yimanke juloti saka ka dontoro mi yalon iba jolale ila information o seke kuti mi yalon ko abe tankalale ando nyimu kuleti mi yalon ko ku koyre ngolem ila information o manta cikala wonyama doron ka di masakundala wala ika fumini ice ning application o ate balinola pour ka kayto soto ni lefta kayto ni la wato men ise ning apply nole wala inde maro nyini pour ka apply ni man ning ka kangola. Ning application obe commencé la septembre karo atil tang anin konontola 2022 sankono. Kata fo november karo atil tang anin nanola 2022 sankono. Ning application mo free leti hani feng ita jola je. Ni lefta demaro sotola pour ka ning application o keni manika kamala. Kumandiro ke wawakla 55.